Hello, coaches, parents, whoever is planning to host a meet. This video is to instruct you in the method to print out all of your entries and also get ready with the file that you will use for your meet. So I've logged in to athletic.net as you see here, and I'm going to go to the Interscholastic League of Honolulu, where that is one of the areas where I have an account. And you can see on the left side here the ILH meet at Kamehameha. And Manage Meet is shown the week of the meet, but otherwise you'd have to click on a button. It's up here. So for example, all these that are in blue are ones that we are hosting. So I could click on this one over here, and the little Manage Meet comes up. Or I can go back to this one, and the Manage Meet comes up. Now, before I even start with this, I'd like to show you a couple of things that need to be downloaded. So I'm going to show you on my desktop. I tend to put things on my desktop so I can see the icon. I have two different icons. This one here, this is the EMMXC labels folder, and that will be dragged in and brought into my desktop. And it holds the Avery labels formatting. The other one is this one, EMMXC1.12, and that is the latest form of the actual meet uh, spreadsheet. So let's go back to athletic.net. When it's the week that we're about to have a meet, for example, if you're hosting a meet, then we're going to go to Manage Meet, and we're going to look at participants here, and we're just going to go down the list here to make sure that every team has their entries in. And you can see that they're all confirmed, and in case there's one that's not confirmed, then it would be in yellow, be unconfirmed, and you could go up to the top here, and you could select all, and then you could confirm the entries. So set attendance. In this case, it doesn't say any unconfirmed, right? So it would be listed here, and it would say confirm such and such team. So you could click on that. All right. So as you can see, we've got all of our entries here. They're all confirmed and ready to go. It looks like every team is in, and this will be on your sheet before you ever get to that week. Christian Academy Middle School doesn't look like they have. Now what I usually do is I go up to the top and see if Christian Academy has, and they do, they have athletes in their high school account, so they probably don't have any middle school account athletes. Once in a while there's a team that has a middle school account that has separate coaches. For example, Punahou Intermediate, here you notice that Tom Earl has put in his, but then up here, Punahou High School has a totally different set of coaches, so it's a little bit different for certain schools. So do check over the middle school and the high school accounts. All right. So then the next thing to do is to go into settings. So there are two tabs, participants and settings. In settings, we see that we're all set to go here. And it says there's an entry deadline of 8:30, which was yesterday at 8 p.m. That means that entries are locked. So this is important that this time has to have passed. If it hasn't passed, then you should set your account so that you don't print out anything until that time has passed, or reset this so that you can do it to the current time. Secondly, you're going to go to race divisions, and you can see that there are 106, 204, 236, 144, 127, and 93. I usually write these numbers down. You can always get back to this later. All right, so we're ready to go. First thing we're going to do is we're going to download all of our participants. Okay, so in here, under race divisions, you see that, and meet information here, and then go back to participants. It says download entries. So this is where we're going to download our entries. Click on there. So our meet is ready, and you're going to see this page come up. Before you download any entries, you're going to need to download the Meet Manager. So you would click here. I've already done it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Download version 1.1.2, or excuse me, 1.12. So click on that. Now I'm working on a Dell PC, and this should be done. Don't do this on a Mac, it doesn't work. Sorry. Okay, so you see here, I have this. I'm going to show it in the Finder, show in folder, and I see it here. And I could drag that to the desktop if I want. And I do that because I like to have a fresh copy on the desktop. All right, so that's what I would do. I would take it in there, and it's an Excel document, and then take this thing and drag it onto my desktop. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to need to do. Down here, it says EMMXE labels 1.1 zip. So I'm going to click on this as well. And notice it's here. And I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to go show it in the folder. There it is. And I'm going to drag that to my desktop, and it will unzip it and turn it into a folder. So those are the two things that you have to download from this page. All right, that's from athletic.net. Let me just go back and show you where that came from. So when you're in the download entries, 28 teams, that's where you're going to click on, download that, and in that same page is where you'll download the other one. All right. So notice these numbers here. I'm going to write these down because we're going to go away from this page. The meet ID is 135646, and the key is 54B6A. All right. So we've got all of our entries. They're locked, so we're ready to go. And actually, to be honest, we don't use this site to download our entries. We're done with this online site. So I just wanted to show you how to do that. So I'm going to close this up. Actually, I'll just minimize it. And now I'm going to come over here because I've loaded this and I've loaded the labels onto my desktop. I'm going to double click on the Excel spreadsheet. I'm not online anymore. I'm just doing this off of my desktop. All right. But this connects to the internet. So it's important to understand that this is an Excel document that connects to the internet. So notice it says meet here, enter here, the meet ID. So I'm going to click on that and type in the number 135. I wrote this down, 646. And then the key, which was 54, capital B, 6, capital A. And I'm going to click Download Meet. Now, your browser does not need to be open. You don't have to have anything open. It'll do this automatically for you. And it says the ILH Meet at Kamehameha has been downloaded successfully. So this tells you that you are set to go. So click the OK. But before you do anything else, the most important thing is that you do not corrupt this file, which is your blank template file. So I'm going to now go up to File, and I'm going to do a Save As. And I'm going to put it on my desktop because that's an easy way for me to retrieve things because I'm old school. So I'm going to call this 2017 at Kamehameha, and that will be the name of this file. So I'm going to save it. Now the nice part about this is that it saves now my EMMXE 1.12 as a clean file. And I leave that on the desktop. I also have these on the laptop. All right, so here we are. I've renamed this. I've done a save as, and here it is. I can now see my entries. My entries, I click on the bottom down here. The entries are listed here. Athlete numbers, first name, last name, all this. And I can just scroll down through. I like to just take a quick look at this to make sure that I see all the teams that I saw on the list. And I noticed that my last number is 910. That looks about right for an ILH meet. So you should have somewhere around 900 entries. All right, so that's the first thing. That's so important to get that file set up. I'm going to close this file. I don't really need it anymore. I'm going to click Save. Let it save one last time before I close. And it's done. Now notice, here is my file, 2017 at Kamehameha. Now I'm going to click on it one more time just to open it and close it to see what you got going on there. Notice when we open this Excel file, it often will say, do you want to enable content? Do this every time because otherwise you won't be able to edit anything. All right, so do that, and that'll get you set up. I'm going to close it again. Just wanted to show you that. Save it. I always save when I close it. It's just good stuff. Okay, we're doing well. So we've got our, this is our actual race file right now. This is for this weekend at Kamehameha, and this is how you will do it as well. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print some labels. So I'm going to open up the label printer. It's over here. In this folder it says Entries Avery 5160. I will provide you with blank labels so you can print them right there. I print them on an HP printer. Mine is a P1601DN LaserJet. So I suggest that if you have one at school or somewhere that you can print on a LaserJet, those seem to be the most resilient. So I'm going to double click on this. This is actually a programmed Word document. So we're in Word, and mine is Word, I think 2010 maybe. And you can see all the labels are blank here. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to generate our list, and it only takes a few steps. So we're going to go to Mailings, and under Mailings, we're going to select Recipients. And we're going to use an existing list. And the existing list is going to come from my desktop. So I'm going to go up here, see if I can find my desktop. There it is. And on the desktop, I'm going to look for the file that says 2017 at Kamehameha. I'm going to single click and then open. And it says, would you like the database files? Absolutely. Okay. Would you like A label entries? Yes. That's what we want. Okay. Excellent. So I see some stuff go in there, but it looks strange. So that's going to happen. So I'm going to go to Mailings. And this time you're going to notice a lot more stuff is available. I'm going to go to Preview Results. Voila. Beautiful. So all of my entries are now located right here. Now when we go to Mailings, we can now finish and merge and print documents. And it will say, do you want all? And we do. Now before you press all and you press OK and all this stuff, make sure that you load the printer with the labeled documents and make sure that there's plenty of ink, because this is going to be about 30 pages or more. So as you can see, I'm in my default printer. Everything's all set. And when I click OK, I will start printing all of these labels. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what you would do if you were printing labels. Now once you've printed the labels and you've double checked that everything looks good, now let's say that you go with a printout and halfway through you run out of ink, or you run out of paper. Sometimes you can just feed the paper in and it'll continue, that's fine. But if you run out of ink, I suggest you go back and just print the whole darn thing again when you put the new ink thing in there. Anyway, up to you how you want to manage that. Okay, so that's done. I'm not gonna save this because I don't need it. But you can always bring this back up again. So notice that even the labels file can retrieve stuff from another file that's on your desktop. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, which is the file that I need, I'm going to put it on a thumb drive, and I'm going to load this on the desktop for the laptop that I'm going to use at the meet. I load it onto only one of the laptops, and then I make a backup copy on that desktop. All right, I hope this helps. This is the method to get everything downloaded and printed and prepared for the meet. So hopefully you'll be able to do that easily on any PC that has Windows 6 or 7, I guess. If you have Windows 7, that should do the trick for you. All right, hope this helps.